Hi, I'm Dan Bradbury, Chief Product Officer at UpGuard. Welcome to our third Product Spotlight for 2023. Today, I'll run through some of the great features we're launching, including an update to our Identity Breaches module and a new way to adjust risk severity. I'll also tell you about some of the features we're currently working on, including automatic product and vendor detection and support for multiple risk assessments per vendor. Let's start with the features we're launching today. The first is a set of improvements to our Identity Breaches module, which identifies when any of your employees' information has been exposed in a data breach. This allows you to take appropriate action, like forcing a password change or reminding employees not to reuse passwords. It's already a widely used feature, and today we're launching several enhancements. In particular, we've improved the workflow capabilities. You can now track who in your company is working on an identity breach and what actions have been taken. This helps larger teams coordinate their work, but even for smaller teams, it provides an audit trail. We've also made a number of other improvements, including more advanced filtering options like searching by date or email domain. These combined improvements make it easier for you to respond quickly and effectively when identity breaches are discovered. Another feature we're launching today is the ability to adjust the severity of risks. When UpGuard detects risks based on our internet scanning and questionnaire responses, we assign a severity level to each risk that reflects its likelihood and impact. This only measures the inherent risk, though, and doesn't account for any compensating controls that may be in place. When assessing a vendor, you may become aware of controls they've implemented that reduce the severity of a risk. UpGuard already offers a way to completely waive risks, and we've now added the ability to adjust the severity level instead. You can also capture the compensating control information that justifies the reduction. This provides a more accurate picture of a vendor's risk profile while ensuring you retain an audit trail of your decisions. And the third feature I want to tell you about today is called AI autofill. As you may know, companies are getting sent more and more security questionnaires, which often contain very similar questions. A while ago, we built an autofill feature that suggests responses based on previous answers. This works well if questions are worded similarly, but can't always detect when a topic area has been covered through differently worded questions. Using AI, we've now developed a way to significantly increase the number of questions that can be automatically answered and the quality of these answers. We've also added the ability to upload previously completed questionnaires to give our AI model more information to draw answers from. Our testing suggests this will be a step change in decreasing the effort to complete a questionnaire, making the vendor assessment process faster and easier. These are just a few of the features we've added over the last quarter. For the full list, check out upguard.com/releases. I'll now talk about some of the features we're working on this quarter. The first is a way to automatically detect products and therefore vendors that you're using. Your external attack surface reveals a lot about the products and vendors you use. For instance, just looking at the IP address of your website can tell someone which cloud provider you're using. Inspecting the HTML of your website reveals even more. Meta tags may indicate what type of web server you're running, or maybe the content management system you're using. So we're using this information to build a list of products and corresponding vendors that are visible from your external attack surface. There's a few ways this can help you. First, it helps identify vendors you're using but not actively monitoring in UpGuard. Second, it can detect shadow IT, where people in your company are using software products without going through the right approval process. And third, it can help you respond more effectively to zero-day exploits because you better understand how a product is being used within your company. The second feature I want to mention is support for product-based risk assessments. As a reminder, the risk assessment feature in UpGuard provides a central point for conducting vendor security assessments. Whenever you assess a vendor, it captures the date this occurred, the evidence you reviewed, remediation activities, correspondence you had with the vendor, and any notes you made. In other words, it provides a comprehensive audit trail of your assessment activities. You can create multiple versions over time, which lets you capture the full history. One limitation of this feature, though, is that you can only create one assessment per vendor. Most of the time, this is fine, but there are cases where you might be using multiple products or services from the same company and want to assess these separately. So we're adding the ability to create multiple risk assessments per vendor, structured around products and services. For a company like Microsoft, for instance, you might want separate risk assessments for Office 365 and Azure because the risk profile of each is different for your company. Product-based risk assessments will provide even more flexibility in how you assess your vendors. And the final feature I want to mention is the integration of SIG into the platform. We've heard from a number of customers they want to use SIG-based questionnaires to assess their vendors, particularly SIG Lite. We're also operating in an environment in which regulatory requirements are increasing, and the SIG question set is already mapped to over 20 regulatory standards and frameworks, with more being added every year. So I'm thrilled to announce we're adding support for the SIG question set, and as the first step, we'll be adding a SIG Lite questionnaire to our library. Over time, we're looking forward to adding more SIG-based questionnaires to increase the number of regulatory standards and frameworks we support. So that gives you a taste of a few of the features we're working on. Let me finish with a quick recap. Over the last quarter, we've added a number of great new features, and today I discussed enhancements to identity breaches, risk severity adjustments, and an AI-enhanced questionnaire autofill. And as always, we're working on some exciting new features, including automatic product and vendor detection, product-based risk assessments, and integration of SIG into the platform. Thanks for taking the time to watch, and please let us know if you have any questions.